Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Little River, South Carolina, visiting North Strand Nissan, and I'm checking out a 2021 Nissan Rogue in the S trim level. This vehicle is sitting on 235/65 Bridgestone tires, wrapped around 17-inch alloy wheels with a silver finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors on all four wheels. The name of this color is Glacier White, and the sun is shining right now. Hopefully you can get an idea. It's just basically a gloss white. There's not a huge amount to say about it. So here in the front, it has the chrome accent around the center grille, which is a black gloss. There's wheel well ventilation right in here. You can see right in that area, air is able to flow through that around the wheel well, creating an air curtain and better aerodynamics. The headlights here in the front, all the exterior lights here on the front of the vehicle are LED. So it's a multi-reflector headlight LED for your low and your high beams. You also have an LED daytime running light, but the turn signals are standard bulbs. Taking a look at the profile, you can see the door handles are black, as well as the side mirrors, and the bottom portion has this black plastic around protecting the vehicle from road debris. Also, your pillars are a flat black as well, so there's no gloss black, but it does have a chrome trim across the top of the glass here. This is what the key looks like. It's a half proximity key, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But basically, this is a very light and smooth key. Nissan's used this same key design for years. It's just a very functional and light, easy to carry around key fob. It does have the lock and unlock buttons, which you will need to use in order to access the vehicle, and then a panic button here. Let's go ahead and push that. So that's kind of a honky horn. So it has a physical key here on the inside. You can unlock the doors by pushing the button and lock the doors by pushing the button. There's no sensors or anything on the handle, but there is a physical key location here on the driver's side only. The doors go all the way down, so that way it helps seal up and keep the threshold from getting too dirty and getting your clothes dirty while you're going in the vehicle. Here's the inside of the passenger side door. So at the very top there's a dark brown color, and then it transitions to this cloth which matches the seat, and the rest of the door is black except for the contrast stitching here on the armrest. So a soft touch here at the very top. This cloth is of course soft. Around your armrest here is like a vinyl type material with the stitching. This is all soft touch, pretty soft. This is enclosed, so you can utilize that as a pocket. This passes through for a handle, and down here is a bottle holder and a storage area. This is all opened out as well for leg room, and then you have a speaker at the bottom. Manually adjusted cloth seats. So there's some stitching there on the sides in black, and then the center portion is that same cloth pattern that you find on the door. There's plenty of leg room here, and the floor mat snaps in place in two places. There's a little storage area that the driver and passenger can share there underneath the center console. It's a glove compartment, smooth plastic on the inside. So there's a metallic accent, there's a little bit of a flat plastic accent right in here. Right above it, there's some stitching. This is all soft touch here and here. This is the brown color, this is black stitching, and then this flat black right in here, and then this is a hard touch around the glove compartment. The swing of the doors is fantastic. So here on the front, the door swings out, but check it out, just completely wide open space for getting in and out of the vehicle. Can't get any better than that. Here in the back, there's a little bit of tapering right in here, but still plenty of headroom and everything. It's a little bit smaller, of course, but the swing of the door is almost 90 degrees. So having a really wide swing helps out with getting in the vehicle. It's really nice. So the back door has similar styling as the front, except you have hard touch here, cloth. This is all the same styling, then hard touch here. Smaller pockets and just less features going on with the smaller door. So there's a cloth bench seat that you can fold down and add to your cargo space when needed. There's cup holders, armrest here in the center. You can lift that up. Now it does have the car seat, the latch system or ISOFIX car seat attachments here, and these little covers that flip up, and they basically can flip up, but it's better just to go ahead and just take them completely out. Plenty of legroom here in the back. Even with the front seats all the way back, you still have a substantial amount of space. There's a hump there in the very center, but it's flat on top, and it's not very tall either. A little storage area and climate control vents back here. Back on the back of both front seats is a storage pocket as well. The fuel door is here on the passenger side, and you just push it to open it up, and it is a capless design. There's no lock on the fuel door or anything. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, there's a shark fin antenna right here in the very center, body colored. The third brake light is at the top of the glass, and that little spoiler. It does have privacy glass back here from the front windows back, and there is a rear wiper as well. Now the taillights are a combination of LED and standard bulbs. The reverse and turn signals are standard, and the rest are LED. The backup camera is in the very center position right here. It's well integrated and looks fantastic because it doesn't look tacked on, and it's in the very center. It just looks like it was intentionally put in here, not put on after the fact. Parking sensors are also across the back. That's pretty nice for a base model. The exhaust is well hidden. So let's go ahead and open up the lift gate here. There's a little electric switch under here. We can of course use the key to release it as well, but we still have to lift it up. So this is your cargo area. If you have all the passenger space occupied with passengers, this is your cargo space, which is quite a bit of space here. There's a little cubby here on the right side. There's a 12-volt power supply right here. This first aid kit is kind of like Velcroed there to the side. You can put that anywhere you want. Behind this cover is your tools for your spare tire, and there's a small cubby here as well. There is tie downs down inside here, as well as there on the front on all four corners. Under this cover, you pull it and you can lift it up, and you can actually push it back there like that to get it out of your way, like so. Now you can access the spare tire, and there it is, and it's a steel wheel donut type spare tire, but there's also space around it in case you want to add some stuff back here that you want to carry with you. As long as you have the key inside the vehicle, you just put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button to start it up. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. The floor mat snaps in place, keeping it straight for you. There's your accelerator and brake pedal. There's a footrest here on the left side, but there's no protection. It's just straight carpet. So let's take a look under the hood. To open the hood, there's a latch a little bit to the right of center. You just reach in and move it to the left and lift up on the hood. So you can see there's the latch. It's not very heavy, the hood itself, but it does require a prop to hold it up. There's the prop. It swings up to that arrow. Insulation on the underside of the hood. There's also seal across the front and back. Insulated battery, which is easy to get to, by the way. The engine does not have a plastic cover, which is kind of like that because I can see in there. There's insulation there on the firewall, as well as heat shielding back here because that's where the exhaust is. Intakes here in the front. You can actually see the coil pack since there's no cover. So there's coil packs across the 4 cylinders. Now this vehicle is powered by a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, dual overhead cam with 181 horsepower and 181 pound-feet of torque, paired to an Xtronic CVT transmission. This little triangle in the side mirrors, this is the blind spot detection system and rear cross traffic alert. It will illuminate that little triangle when there's a vehicle on the appropriate side. It will illuminate the appropriate side to let you know when the vehicle's coming or in your blind spot. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So you have your power windows here, and the only one is one touch up and down as your driver. So you can push it, it goes up and down quite fast. But the rest of the doors you will have to hold the switch. Side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side and adjust it with that little pad, and then there's little door lock controls there. Now there is a manual seat here for the driver, except the only difference is the driver has a height adjustment in addition to the other manual controls. To the left of the steering column, there's a dimmer switch for your interior gauges right here, and it has a tilt and a telescoping steering column that you lock in place right here. I'm sitting in the driver's seat checking it out, and I have the driver's seat all the way back and all the way down, and I'm 6 feet tall, just to give you an idea of the possible legroom. So this would be a little bit too far back for me. I would probably pull it up just a little bit more, but I do have plenty of leg room here, knee room, all that good stuff. The space in the door helps out. Now this is a hard plastic right there, but it's still not really an issue. The footrest, it kind of like has a little bump in the top of it, which is a little bit of annoying. I can see where that'd be a problem with, if you got big feet like me, then it might be a little annoying after a while on a long trip or something. Alright, so here's the steering wheel, and it's a synthetic material, and it kind of has a simulated leather texturing, but it's a synthetic, full synthetic material. There's no wrapping or anything like that, which the good thing about this is it's very easy to clean and very durable, this kind of stuff. It's not super soft, but it is a good thickness, so you don't have to grip it. The grip doesn't dig into your bones if it's too skinny. So it has paddle shifters. Now this is a CVT transmission. It doesn't have gears, but the paddle shifters are able to limit your high gear, also change through your speed ratios when needed, like if you need to downshift going down a hill or something like that. Here on the right side, it has your cruise control settings. So you turn it on, set, resume, and cancel right here. So use this little switch right here going up and down, and you push it in to cancel. Bluetooth controls here. You can answer and hang up using that button, and your voice recognition is here. On the left side, your volume for your radio, change through your tracks or your, depending on what your radio station or your tracks, depending on what you're playing. These buttons correspond with the screen between the gauges. We'll get to that in just a minute. Windshield wiper controls are here on the right side, turn signal here on the left side, but it also has your headlight controls, which off, parking light, headlight, and then automatic, which is nice. It also has the high beam assist, which is a button there on the end. You need to initiate that and have your high beams on. And it should, if all things go well, it should dim your headlights when a vehicle comes. Okay, so here's your gauges, and you can see it has the white lettering with a black background. It's easy to focus on. Everything seems to be big enough to really see good. Now the RPM tachometer is there on the left side with your engine coolant temperature. There on the right side is your speedometer with the fuel gauge. And in the center is a screen. So right now you can see it shows the outside temperature and the clock at the top. Right in the middle is a digital speedometer, and then shows you what your radio is doing there, and then your distance to empty, what gear you're in, and your odometer is there on the far left. But we can get more information. So using these buttons here, remember these buttons here, we can get more information. So scrolling to the right and the left, you'll see there's little icons pop up. Alright, we were in that first icon, that one that looks like a house. If we scroll down on that one, it gives us a blank screen. Scrolling again brings us back here. If I go to the right, this will give us information about fuel economy and stuff. So I can scroll down, and you see we can go here and get more information as far as your fuel economy, which you can reset. Information about your vehicle, like your tire pressure, so it shows up here on this next icon. The next one is whatever your radio is doing. Your safety features will be on this one, and then your settings here, you just have to select that, and then you can go in here and adjust what you want. The next one goes back to the digital speedometer, which will be my default. Alright. So this screen, it's kind of interesting because it has a little bit of a glare because it's glossy, but it's not a big deal. My eyes don't cause a problem. It's just on the camera. It kind of looks more exaggerated. But there is something interesting about the camera, the backup camera on this, and I'll show you that in a minute. The volume knob has a physical volume knob tuned through the stations. You have a touch screen, but you also have physical buttons here at the bottom. So when we push the menu button, this is what it shows, and it basically has these, sort of like a cell phone where you have quick icons and stuff like that. So let's go to the audio, and so you have your presets there, and it shows you album art and stuff. You can change the audio source, AM, FM, satellite radio, USB 1, USB 2, and Bluetooth are your different options there. Alright, we'll go back. And let's go back to the menu here. And you can go into connections. Now this has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but you can also play music, off your device if you want to without that. Information icon just gives you information about the vehicle, and then settings, you can go in here and set up things. Now when I set it up with the camera and this screen, the brightness as high as I can go. But when I put it in reverse, if you push this button, it's not going to show the camera, it's just going to go to the settings. So we can go back out of that. But when I put it in reverse, I'll show you, it's a little bit dim, and I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know if if I don't have the settings right. I went through all the settings, I pushed all the brightness as high as it goes, but I'll show you that in a second. So down here is your four-way flashers, then your climate control. So it's fan speed, temperature, where you want the air to blow. It's pretty basic. Front and rear defrosters, recirculate the air, all that good stuff. There's a USB-C and a USB inputs there. 12-volt power supply here on the right side, and we already saw the start button here on the left side. There's a storage compartment here. Cup holders, these little articulating arms. It has a little rubber thing that you can take out and clean and put back in. Little rubber floor. So the shifter takes some getting used to. It's very non-traditional. So if we don't have like right now I don't have my foot on the brake and it's in park, I can slide this around and it's not going to do anything. But if I put my foot on the brake, I can pull it down into drive. I can push it up into neutral, but it won't go any further. I have to push this side button here, and then it kind of has like a small and then a further position. So let's go ahead and put it in drive, and I'm not going to push the button, so I'm going to push it up here to neutral, so it stops there, and there's a second stage that it releases to go to reverse. Now the second stage is also going this way as well, so if I can pull it down to neutral and pull it down, see, it won't go any further. I have to pull it down and then go further the second stage of, bumping it, I guess you could say, to actually go into, to the drive position. Now the parking, to put it in park, you just put it right there. You just push the button, and that way you're in park. You don't have to be sliding it around. So let's go ahead and put it in reverse so you can see what I'm talking about with the backup camera. It's kind of, when the sun's shining on it, it's not very visible. It really needs to be much brighter than this. And maybe I just don't have the settings right or something. I went to all the settings I could find and pushed the brightness up, and it's just still dim. So I'm not exactly sure why it's dim. And this is before I put the shade, so the shade's probably on the light sensor now, but it's dim for some reason, and it's not invisible or anything, but it's just should be a little bit brighter. And it has the guidelines on there that are active and all that stuff, and it looks pretty good. It's just wish it was a little bit brighter. All right, go ahead and put it in park. And there's electronic parking brake, in which you engage by lifting it up. It engages the rear wheels. To release it, you have to hold the brake, push it down, and it will release the rear wheels. Now the auto hold, I'll go ahead and put it back on. The auto hold feature, once that's on, it has a little light showing you that it's on or off. This will hold the brake for you while you're sitting at a stoplight or something. As soon as you come to a complete stop, it'll hold the brake until you push the accelerator. Your drive mode is here, and it shows up here. So you have Sport, Standard, and Eco. So Standard will be a kind of a blend between the two, performance and fuel economy. Here's the armrest, and it's pretty interesting because you pull this up, little button right here, and it releases like a Star Wars hatch or something. And it has a storage compartment in here, and it's all smooth plastic, a little quick access one there, but basically just a junk drawer of the vehicle. Now you can close one side and use the armrest, and the other side could be open for quick access if you need to, or you can close both of them. It's kind of interesting. Rear view mirror has a manual day and night mode. Place to put your shades right here, has a felt lining. You have some lights here, there, and all the interior lights, or turn them on with the door. Now the visors, they match the headliner. The headliner is a cloth type material. This is like a vinyl type material, but it matches in color. There's a little clip, there's a mirror, and a little light that turns on when you open this up, like so. It also slides out. And basically the passenger side is basically the same thing. Okay, so let's look at the visibility in the back. So you do have some pillars back there, and depending on your passengers and your headrest and all that stuff for cargo will possibly limit your visibility. But the pillars back there are quite big, but you know, you do have blind spot detection systems and parking sensors, camera system, all that stuff. So, you know, it does have other ways of mitigating that issue. Of course, you have to just get used to them. That's the main thing. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you to North Strand Nissan here in Little River, South Carolina, and I'll see you guys next time.